So I just have to share this with you because it's become one of my new obsessions, and all of the very little free time that I have has been spent playing State of Decay 2 this week on my Xbox One X. I need to talk about this with you, so please don't go anywhere. Let me try and sell you on it. This is not a paid video, but I just want to say that I did start a brand new campaign on stream on my S, because my S is set up to the streaming setup. And I started a brand new game because recently there was the Juggernaut update, which was kind of essentially overhauled the game graphically, performance-wise, added a new map, lots of different things were kind of stabilized and fixed. And I, coming back to the game after about 14 months of not playing it, noticed a huge benefit, especially on the S. And it looked really muddy previously on the S, but it looks good now on the S. Obviously it looks way better on my X. So I started a brand new game on stream, so all the gameplay you're going to see is very kind of early on within the game. I've actually put in about 15 hours since the end of that 3-hour stream, so I've done an absolute ton of stuff, so I may well stream it again and just show you around my new base. But if you're not familiar with State of Decay 2, it is probably the only reason for me to turn on my Xbox One X at this present time. It is an open world zombie survival action game, and you start off with 2 characters, and you have to kind of find a base within these maps. There are 3 maps in total. Providence Ridge is the new one. So you find like your first base, for example, okay? And within your little base, there's different things you need to do, like set up an area where people can sleep. Dead easy to do, it's just click and it automatically builds. You know, you might need a kitchen. Some bases have natural resources such as like turret towers, so you've got your little snipers up there and whatnot. You know, there's loads of different things. And I do believe it's procedurally generated as well, if I can get my words out. So you start off and your base is kind of a little bit rough around the edges. You've got a fence around it which protects you from zombies, which is pretty darn weak if you think about some of like the power of some of these zombies within this game. And you have to go out into the world. There are storyline missions to do, there are side missions to do, and there are various traders that pop up on different days of the week, different times. So you've really got to be on your toes, because at any point, you know, you might need this certain resource and you might have to drop your main mission and go off to this trader and pick something up, which is crucial. And I've learned something really interesting in my playthroughs off stream. So I kind of started this game, built up my base, got my, you know, beds in, you know, I was kind of creating resources with food. I set up my infirmary, which is crucial because one of the main enemies within this game is the blood plague or blood plague zombies. And within the map, there's different blood plague hearts that you need to kill. They're like little hubs that produce blood plague zombies, which can be fatal if you contract this disease. So you've got like blood plague zombies and then just non-blood plague zombies. So, you know, the more of these bases you take down, your base and your, you know, your settlers, your crew, the morale lifts and whatnot. But if you contract blood plague, you can literally go into your infirmary, say it's like one of your team members, one of the AI, all characters are playable, by the way. You can chuck them in the infirmary, but then you need to make the blood plague. So what you need to do there is you need to kill blood plague zombies, pick up samples, take them back to your base. I think you need 5 blood plague samples to make the kind of cure, which is quite easy to do the further you get into the game. I've actually got quite an abundance in my storage within my base, because you've got this huge storage and you can kind of chuck all your resources, anything you find in the world. It's like limitless, you can just bang it all in. So you need to build an infirmary, you know, get your infirmary built. You can upgrade it as well. And the more you move around the map, like say like you upgrade your base will have more slots to build more things. Like I just went into a fire station, and already before I built anything, there was a built-in gym, a built-in kitchen, 2 units of beds, built-in water source, which obviously you need to kind of keep it generated with electricity to pump it. But then there were like different areas that I could build my garden, a lounge to, you know, boost morale. There's loads of different things you need to do. And in order to get new bases, you have to spend certain points, and you get points, they're like little stars. Like, for example, this base cost me 3,500 stars, and I needed an enclave of 8 people. And I think I only had 6 at the time. So we'll talk about how to recruit people first. Little kind of radio signals come through that pop up different missions, so your side missions predominantly, and it'll say like, these 3 people need food, can you help them out? Yeah, sure. You go to the people, they say, look, we're desperate for food or ammo or medicine. You give them food, ammo, or medicine, you build the trust, you leave. They ask for more help, and the more trust you build with external enclaves, they will then become recruitable to your community, which is again imperative because it's power in numbers, and the more people you have, the more bigger bases you can move to, and just improve your strength and improve your resources and just improve everything you do within the game essentially. So it took me, in order to get 8 people, and it's permadeath, so I think at one point I had 7 people, and I was like, yes, I only need 1 more. And then this guy died, and I was like, no, I was back down to 6. And it took me a while again to grind to get back to the 7th person in my community, and then eventually the 8th. So you've got your certain number of people, you're kind of picking off different zombies around the map. And then I needed more stars to move to this base. So I was like, right, okay, major tip here, major tip if you're going to play it. I sold a lot of my resources to different enclaves, okay? And they usually have about 500 worth of kind of star currency to be able to buy stuff from you. You can buy stuff from them. But I had hoarded so much, like so many different things in my storage unit, that I was able to kind of pick them out, take them to the enclave, sell a load of stuff, save up enough to then move base, which again progress the story. So you really do need to think about inventory management. You need to be really, really savvy on how you build internal storage as well, because food can go off. Different things can kind of turn bad if you don't have enough storage. So be mindful that when you're collecting stuff out in the wild and you're fighting zombies, and you might find like a crowbar, you can choose to use that crowbar, or you can salvage it for materials. You use those materials to put back into your base. You need to have enough storage to store those materials. So there's a lot of thinking to this, and I absolutely love the challenge and the open world vibe. It's absolutely wicked. There's a few things that I would like to see that I'm going to talk about, because the game does lack in some areas, which we'll get to, but I am absolutely hooked on this game, and it is literally been the only reason I've wanted to turn on an Xbox forever, because it is an Xbox exclusive. Undead Labs are owned by Microsoft Studios, so this will not come to PlayStation 4, because I don't want you guys to think that, is it available on PS4? Will it come to PS4? I do believe it's on PC. I don't know if it's cross-play, but again, I'm going to talk about the kind of multiplayer element now. So we've talked about what we need to do in this world. We need to upgrade bases, we need to take out plague hearts, you need to take out infestations of zombies as you're driving around the world, raising morale, keeping everybody back at base, including yourself, happy. We know that if somebody dies, it's permadeath. You also have vehicles. You can use vehicles for storage. I think each vehicle has 6 storage units in the boot or the trunk, but those vehicles do need toolkits. You need to kind of replenish the petrol or gas. You need to look after things. So please just be mindful of that. So in terms of multiplayer then, let's say you have a copy of State of Decay 2, you can join my community. You can come into my world, you can help me take out plague hearts, you can help me take out infestations, we can go on trade runs, and you can actually use some of the things that you get in my game and take them back to your game. And I think that's a lovely little feature. I think think that's a really good. If you do have a copy of State of Decay 2 and you want to join up, maybe on stream, maybe off stream, add me on Xbox at thegebs24. So I'm the same on PlayStation, same on Xbox, just add me and we can play, or maybe I could come into your game, I can get resources. And again, it's very much about power in numbers. So if you're struggling with a plague heart, when you go out on missions, you can recruit members of your community to come with you. But if they're not strong enough or they're not kind of savvy enough, maybe it's time to kind of hook up on multiplayer. So there's lots of different dynamics and layers to this game that make it really interesting. And I think it's one of those games that you can play over and over and not really kind of get bored. Another thing that takes away the boredom and the monotony of this is in your base, you've got like a command point and you can, you know, use your radio frequencies to scan for new areas on the map. And I've just accessed 3 exit points from the current map that I'm on. I haven't used those exit points to go to different maps yet because, well, I just haven't. There's so much to do on the current map that I'm on. I think I've got 3 more plague hearts to take out, and that's them all gone for the entire map. There's different infestations I need to take out. There's loads of side missions I need to do, and it's just a really rich, fruitful game that does a great job in generating interest and activity constantly. So things that I think really need tweaking, even on my X, there are some bugs, there are some glitches. There was this one glitch and I wasn't streaming and I didn't capture it, so I can't show it, but I was literally driving along the road and my car just started to flip in the air, and I was in the air for about 30 seconds and then landed somewhere random. Weird bugs like that do crop up, so if you want kind of absolute stable gameplay, you're probably not going to get perfection on this. Another thing is that it does lack a dynamic weather system. There's a day-night cycle, but the weather tends to be this autumnal glow constantly. I'd like to see snow, I'd like to see rain, I'd like to see storms, I'd like to see hail, like wind, tornadoes, that kind of stuff. But it hasn't been added yet. I don't know if that's going to be in the pipeline. I do think there's another major update coming in April because I watched the devs streams. They do like an hour a week stream and you can ask them questions, and I tuned into that last week. It was actually last Monday, and a lot of people were saying the same thing about the weather. So that would add so much cool stuff to the game. Different layers of difficulty, different layers of interest, I guess. So I think there's a lot to come from this game, and we'll see. I am obsessed with it. It's all I want to do. It's like the game that I think about when I'm off stream. It's the game that I think about when I'm bored at work. I need to get home and play this game so much. So I will be streaming it here again. If you want to see me play it, I stream right here on YouTube. So guys, if you're interested in watching some of me play live, please hit that subscribe button. And if you want to ask me any questions about it, just chuck us a tweet, but make sure you use the hashtag Team24, because I do search the hashtag and it'll be easy for me to interact with you on Twitter if you use that hashtag. So Libby's happy with it, I'm happy with it. I'm going to leave it there. Hope I've sold you on it because it's just wicked. Maybe we can squad up. Have a beautiful day and see you in the next video. My name is Gemma. Take care. See you soon.